Chucky.
Wanna play?
Hello and welcome to Haunted by Horror. I'm Kevin, and today I'm going to be talking about the 5th episode of the Chucky television series. Alright, so in this episode, Lexi's dad brings the Chucky doll into Lexi's little sister when she wakes up, and she freaks out because its face is half melted and it's fucking scary looking. So he takes it and he throws it in this trash chute, which sends Chucky down into this big bin of sharps. And Chucky's just rolling around, just fucking loving the AIDS. Because apparently this hospital has zero safety regulations at all. None. And we don't seem to question anybody about the police officer's death in the last episode. Which is weird. And Lexi, Jake, and Devon kind of team up in this episode to take down Chucky. And Lexi just kind of cold shoulders Junior, just kind of ignoring him. And I have to say, like, if I was Junior, I would really think that what was going on is that everybody suspected me of killing Oliver, because what his cousin said at the talent show gives motive for him to want to kill Oliver. And he would have reason to kill his housekeeper. He would have reason to kill his uncle. I would think there would be more suspicion on Junior than there is. They do mention that maybe it was Junior or maybe Jake and Junior were working together once when the maid was killed, but they sort of gloss over that, and I would really think more attention would be paid to Junior, especially since he was at the party. And so if I was the police, I would definitely be looking at him, and if I was him, I would definitely think that was the reason why Lexi and his cousin and Devon are kind of grouping up and leaving him completely out. I mean, why else would they be doing that? Why else would he think that they're doing that? And they try really hard in this episode to make Lexi's mom out to be a bitch, which later on in the episode when she's talking to the people from the town, it really does come out that way. But earlier on in the episode, when she's talking about Lexi and the shit that Lexi's done, like, I don't feel that she's overreacting. I feel like Lexi's dad is the one who doesn't appreciate the seriousness of the situation. Because if my kid was fucking dressing up as somebody's parent that was just killed at their school and then having parties while we're not there and nearly burning our house down, and someone was murdered in their house at this party, that's some serious next level shit. Like, they make it seem like she's overreacting. Or at least I feel like they're trying to make it seem that way. But to me it seems like the dad needs to get fucking excited. Like, that's some serious shit. And I guess Lexi is just cool with Jake now. And Jake is cool with Lexi, despite all of this shit, and her being a horrible fucking human being, and him trying to murder her. I don't know. I guess maybe after he tried to murder her, she's like, oh, well, I get you now. I understand you better. We can relate. Is that what it is? I mean, fuck. Are they just both sociopaths? They just friends now because they both understand that the other is fucking psycho? Jake and Devon have their first kiss in this episode, and it's a very heartfelt, touching moment, which, you know, in the midst of everything else. Seems a little out of place, but, you know, it's a nice moment for their characters and sort of the way that the show's been progressing. Although, I do feel like Devon has some ulterior motives in his relationship with Jake beyond just liking him. And mostly that just goes back to the fact that he was recording their private conversation. And it makes me wonder if he's still recording their private conversations. If he was recording what Lexi told him about the doll, recording his conversations with Jake about Chucky, recording the whole incident where they smashed the doll in. Is he still recording that stuff? Does he record all the time, or was he just recording because he was trying to find some evidence to clear Jake? I don't know, but I'm still a little suspicious of him. Um, I hope that I don't have reason to be, but I mean, considering that we're just over halfway through and they're kind of forming a relationship, which I really didn't see fully developing until later on in the show, towards the end of the season. Um, it makes me think that something's going to happen. Of course, that something could be Devon getting murdered by Chucky later on in the season. I don't know. And we finally find out what Junior's mom's secret is. And it's that she's dying and has stage 4 cancer. The show really tried to make it seem like she was cheating, um, when really she had cancer. To me, it seems unrealistic. I'm not an expert on cancer, but it seems to me that by the time you've reached stage 4, it would be nearly impossible to keep hiding that diagnosis from your family. So, yeah, Junior's mom is dying. Although maybe it's her cancer diagnosis that leads her into researching and becoming the world's foremost expert on Jason, because she's trying to figure out about his extraordinary regenerative abilities, which ends in her being cryogenically frozen and facing off against Jason in a spaceship in the future. But of course, what's more likely is that she'll be killed off in some heroic way. We get one kill in this episode. Um, in the previous episodes, we've really gotten one kill, and then sometimes we see the aftermath of the kills in the flashbacks. In this episode, we actually see the kill in the flashback, and then in the present time, we see the aftermath of the kill. And so they kind of flipped it a little bit there. We didn't really get to see the principal get decapitated. We just saw her head roll out onto the stage. So, I mean, and one interesting thing in the flashbacks was it was actually Fiona Dourif who was dressed as her father in the flashback, with him doing the voice, which was weird, but not nearly as weird as the Jennifer Tilly voice, because the Jennifer Tilly voice wasn't her voice the whole time, and that part of it was way weird. I feel like it would have been more effective if maybe the girl he was with had brought her back to the hotel room, like, oh, I have a surprise for you, and then the point where he tries to kill her and she says, do it. If that was just Jennifer Tilly's voice there, and it probably would have been more effective, because it was just fucking ridiculous that she had a different voice, and then after they killed that girl, her voice changed. It was too ridiculous. Fiona Dourif, dressed as Brad Dourif, looked so much like Tommy Wiseau in The Room. I just thought that was funny. Actually, after Nika was able to break through and tried to rescue the guy in the hotel room, we actually got to see him killed too. So, I mean, really, we kind of got 3 kills in this episode. Because we got the throat slit, and then we got them stabbing the girl, and then we have Principal's head rolling across. So we had all kinds of kills in this episode. And we found out that Chucky realizes that Nika's been able to break through, but he doesn't want Tiffany to find out. And I feel like that's probably going to be essential to the plot later on. And when Lexi's dad tries to replace the Chucky doll, he gets a Tommy doll. So we get another Tommy doll, like in Chucky 2. We don't get to see any doll-on-doll murder in this one, though, sadly. He does transfer his soul into the Tommy doll and just kind of casts off his burnt-up husk. And so the kids think they've stomped Chucky to death and killed him. Jake kind of questions it, but Lexi's like, yeah, of course we fucking did it. She said, what did she say? Just take the win. Yeah, Chucky's not that easy to kill. You're not going to take him out in the 5th episode, in the middle of the episode. I mean, and even if they had, there's all those other Chucky dolls. Of course, they don't know about any of that stuff yet, but they'll find out. So all in all, I thought it was a pretty good episode. But yeah, those kids will definitely find out. Chucky could be, but yeah, those kids will definitely find out. Chucky could take over anybody's body. He could be in your body right now. He could be in mine. Anyway, have a good day.
Subscribe, damn it. I'll be back. I always come back, and so should you, you moron.